Okay, a small introduction. I started my skincare line in 1978. I had a salon in San Francisco. At that time, my place was number 2 in the whole city. There were not that many aesthetics schools or classes or estheticians for that matter. My license has only 4 numbers. So imagine, right, how many we were. So when I started to work hands-on, I had missed a lot of products that I could work with. That's how I came to realization that I have to start my own skincare line. There were plenty of skincare products in Macy's, in Joseph Magnin, I don't know if you even know, J. Magnin, I. Magnin, Neiman Marcus. So there were products nicely packaged, smelling beautifully, right? But they weren't working. As from esthetician, there is a little bit more expectation of the product to work, and if you do something, should get the results. Thank you. And so, because when you go, let's say, to a doctor and you have a problem, no problem to him, pulls out the prescription, right? Thing, writes it down, hands it to you and say, okay, try it when I see you in a month. 99% of the time, it doesn't work. So what happens then? You go back to the doctor, right? You pay for the visit and all that, and say, doctor, it doesn't work. So he says, oh, it happens. Okay, so you know what? Try now this. And this you go for 3-4 times. But you still go to the doctor. The esthetician does not have that luxury to send you back and forth 3-4 times. The client is not going to come back. And the client is not going to say, oh, because the product didn't work. They will blame the esthetician and they will say, she doesn't know what she is doing. And the word of mouth travels, right? Because we are kind of creature of habit. We go into the same areas and we don't try to switch from here to there just because of the time limit and restrictions that we have. And we travel by word of mouth. If you have a friend that tried something, it doesn't matter, food, hairdressing, clothing, shoes, makeup, whatever. If they come and they say, oh, you have to try this, what happens? What do? You try again, right? But you're already open to the experience and you look forward and you know that you expect to like it. So it's very few times when you say, you know what, the same with food, right? They like this food and raving and they go back and forth. You go there and go, don't like it. But you will still try maybe another time. To an esthetician or to a hairdresser, it ain't happening, guys. It's not going to happen. They pay, they want to get what they paid for. And in fact, they want a bargain on top of it. I don't rehearse my speeches. I don't. I cannot remember from one time to the other time what I talked about or what I said. My rule is never to lie. Whatever I say, I mean it. And I mean what I say. So I don't have to be faced with, oh, you said last time so and so and this and this and this and that. I don't remember what I said. So if I say what I mean, and I mean what I say, I will be always okay. So we always get a client that you have to impress. We're in the business that we have to impress. A client that is knowledgeable will figure out how good are you, how long have you hold the scissors and the brush in your hand. Think about it. How simple is it, right? It's your experience that shows. When you told me that the oily skin is the most difficult, right? I ask you why you say pimples. What does it mean? Which is the biggest organ in the body?
Skin.
How much waste goes through the skin? Through. Yeah, we're now discussing there are basically 3 groups of skin, right? Normal, oily, dry, basically, and then everything in between. You have the T-zone, you have a little this, a little that. Now we're discussing why is the oily skin most difficult. The dry skin is not as difficult. You say wrinkles, you use more cream. So you use the layered. So you use the serum. And then aging, hello, no matter what you're gonna do, you're gonna age. You're gonna have the wrinkles. But with oily skin, it's you have day to day to day confrontation. You have to battle. Because it doesn't matter how stable you are, all of a sudden you ate something and brought it out. With dry skin, you may break out the same thing, but that either your period is the cause of it, right? Your hormones go wacko, maybe you are pregnant, the hormones go, take care of it, or you have an allergy to the food that you ate, which is basically the skin will show almost anything what you ate, and that's very important. When you have a client, you want it to show off, right? You will figure out that the hormonal breakouts, most of the people have in the same place. All of you know, you're on your period or before the period, you have places almost exactly that you know where you will break out, correct? That's the hormonal. If you are kind of sort of allergic and you don't know it, and sometimes you had shrimps, seafood, shellfish, in the morning you wake up, you will have rash right here, small red pimples. That gives you, will give you an idea that most likely they had shellfish. So different foods show they're present in the body, and as being, you're not going to be that close with the skin, but you never know. Few of you maybe are going to be liking to do makeup because this license almost give you right to do makeup, right? Unless you're going to go for specialty, but this license cover is the first thing is to know how safe the product history of the product, how did you find out about the product, who uses it, how safe it is, right? The safety factor. The second factor is very important. We want the product to work, otherwise we wouldn't even start to do it, right? So that's a granted, and that's not something that comes into the equation. It's safety and money. Why? The product we discussed, right? If it's not safe, that's very important. That's out of the. We talked about money. How much is the product? Because of your profit. Think about it. Whatever you do, you want to be able to pay your bills, correct? Mm-hmm. And the easiest way to do is to have a product that works. You make money. The client is always happy. You are extremely happy because you have how to pay the bill. So don't go for the most expensive, but talk to the professionals in your field and you will find something that you like it. So you will be safe, meaning when you apply on a client all of a sudden to remove the makeup, right? Cleanser, toner, it's something that it's important, but it's not as important, but to remove the makeup for the eye makeup. It's very important because you have allergies, and when it gets into the eye, and before you even started, they go already red ball eyes, and they cry, and you cannot put makeup on because they are crying, cause a reaction to it. So when you start to work, your first thing you ask a client is, are you allergic to anything? I've been doing facials for so many years. If you have as good in math as I am, you know. So I had a client who was allergic to Azuline. You know what Azuline is? No. Yes? No? You don't know. It's a byproduct from chamomile. And what is chamomile? In Europe, many years ago, we used to give the solution, very light solution. I would say something maybe a little bit darker than the walls of the color of the walls here, right? We used to feed newborns. Give a few drops, first thing, to clean the system. So it's a diuretic. When you take antibiotics, you should always have chamomile. When you feel nervous, chamomile. When you have to study chamomile, because it will relax you. You have allergies in your body. Sometimes you ate something which we talked about and still didn't get from you what I wanted, is the eggs. A lot of people are very allergic. Strawberries, peanuts, tomatoes. Not as many because of the acidity. Yeah. You can take for newborns. You know when they get the diaper rash? The best thing to do is chamomile bath. You take two bags of the chamomile tea, 3 bags. You make it in a big tub or something like that container. You keep it and then you put in the sink a little bit of that cold chamomile that you had the extract, right? Add a little water and just sit the baby in it. Calm down the rashes and whatever, so the skin is going to be more relaxed. So those are the natural things that help. So it's very, very good to know that. Okay? So when you know that somebody is very hyper, client, try to give him chamomile tea while he is sitting in your chair. That can be hot, can be warm or cold. And you will get a few people that will say, oh, I don't like how chamomile tastes. It smells. Add a little mint to it. Rose hip. It will mask it. But you will have a client that is calm. So what skincare products is the most important for any type of skin and why?
What about exfoliator?
There you go. And just think about it. The skin that hasn't been exfoliated, right? That has layers and layers of dead skin. By the way, who knows how often do we shed the skin? It doesn't sound right, the word, but that's exactly what it is.
It depends on the age, and the younger you are, the faster it sheds.
Yeah.
The older it takes longer, like 4 to 5 weeks, or 6 to 8.
No. Every day. Part of it comes off every day. If you, let's say, how to check, the easiest way to check in school for the students that it's just beginners and all that, they say, oh, you have your black thing on. Can you swipe on your face? What happens? On your body when you wear something dark, all of a sudden you see what? White marks. What are those?
Dead skin cells.
So when we exfoliate unknowingly, unwillingly, it just so happens, right? Scratch here, scratch there. We put clothes, we remove clothes, it comes off. So that's a natural process that happens every day. So by using a scrub, we exfoliate deeper. Now imagine if you have not exfoliate on purpose, right? If you don't use a product that exfoliates, that's what it really does. And you apply the best serum, the most expensive you can name it, right? What happens?
It doesn't work.
What do you mean that? Who said it doesn't work? Why it doesn't work?
Because it can't penetrate through all that dead skin, all the layers that have built up.
Yeah, that's if you want to moisturize your skin, your true skin, your live skin, then that's correct. It will penetrate. The dead skin will penetrate. Why? Because it's very scaly dry. Well, if you want to feed your natural skin, your true skin, right? It will not help, but it will help the dead skin. So might as well put the most expensive product on your shoe. Usually the serum is more concentrated, and that's why you pay 3, 4 times, 5 times for the amount as you pay for a cream, because the cream is usually has more side or different additional products. Serum is more potent, but if you have, for example, this is my professional size of serum, right? This is collagen elastin. This is how it's been sold for the esthetician in the room to use. And this is the size that it's been sold to the client. What does it gonna last you longer?
Serum.
And we come back to the most difficult, the most complicated skin, oily skin. The dry skin, if you apply a product, you apply a serum, and you see it's not enough, it's one or two things. Maybe it's not good enough for you, it's not rich enough for you, and you may need to add another moisturizer. But for oily skin, it's much more complicated. You have to see your skin every day, and the skin reacts every day differently. The dry skin, you wake up, you have the same. Once in a while, you underslept, you overslept, you had a little bit more fluids, you had less of fluids, the skin will a little bit react, but it fluctuates just this. With oily skin, it goes from here to here. You finally have it where you want to have, and you go and you have a meal, and in the morning you wake up and it's like, oh my God, it's like, again. That's why the oily skin is like a mirror. I used to have clients, everybody sees it for the truth. Yeah, I used to have clients that I used to be able to say what they ate yesterday. It shows, but they were coming like for years, and coming twice a month. Sometimes I used to start them off once a week, and then as we progressed, they used to come once a week, twice a week. But I knew the skin, it's the same as you know your skin.
What is the best way to postpone the aging of the skin? At least 10 years.
Okay, let me ask you, between 10 and 20?
No, between 40 and 50.
Between 40 and 50. Have you heard of a word, gravity? Even if you're going to stand upside down, so instead of the skin hanging here, it's going to go to the other place. It doesn't, when you're laying down and you look at the mirror, all of a sudden it goes to the gravity takes place. You have to be very realistic. You have to be realistic. But yes, you can help by eating the right thing, by having enough sleep, trying to stay away from the word stress. Anybody knows what that means?
Yes.
Get sick.
It depends. You may. If you don't know how to handle it, you have to learn how to, be a mother here, to co-worker there, and to do cleaning lady there. You cannot have it there. You have to learn how to, and to take. And if you know that you cannot do it all at the same day, so you take out, when you make, let's say, a list. So you take 2-3 things off of the list and you just transfer to the other day. It's easier said than done, but you will learn, or else you get sick. You have a choice. Rosacea is a skin condition, it's like a disease.
Oh yeah, it turns red. I think your face turns red.
It can be anywhere, but most of the times it's here. But you have to know that you have it, and when you have the condition, the rosacea, when you go to the doctor, they will tell you a lot of diseases. It doesn't sound right, but it is a disease, it's a condition. Sounds better. That condition is being somewhat controlled by the food we eat. Look, when there is really hot outside, what happens to the skin?
Dehydrate.
I'm not saying to stay in the sun even.
Dehydrate.
How does it happen?
You're sweating.
Which means you're losing the bodily fluids, and if you do not supply the body with to balances. So what happens is, most important in this case is the balance. That's something that we have to balance the life. You have to balance always, between the stress. You have to balance your day-to-day with other interactions. Balance is the most important thing. Yes. Okay, to avoid aging, important because you can do it while you travel. It's extremely good for the skin while you're flying. Why? because of the high altitude that dries the skin. And if you have makeup and your skin underneath is dry, you will not apply cream because you have to remove it, and then so it's a big deal. This you can gives moisture to the skin without inconvenience and going into the laborious, so to speak, process. Okay, what else do we have special? I have special treatments that are facials that can be done in 5 minutes, and we go foot to foot, so to speak, with the dermabrasion results, even beating them, and it takes 5 minutes. Now, dark circles, it's a condition, you know that, and the same as puffiness. But yes, we have a product that will tighten.
It depends on how many hours you can sleep.
Some people will react to it, yes.
But it's not always depends on the sleep, right?
No.
Because I sleep small.
Smoke is not that good, not helpful. Sleep is very important, but this is most of the time it's the coloring, it's your pigment, and inheritance. We have 4-5 products for the eyes. This is the stick, the spot treatment that we talked about it with the oily skin that you sometimes feel that there's something coming out. You go to the mirror, but there's nothing there. You step aside, then you feel it. It's something is there, right? That's the time when to apply this. It has a little stick with a roll on top of it. You just apply. During the day, it has a light color, so you can mask it, so it doesn't show that you have something done. And guaranteed, in a couple nights, when you leave it over, it's either the pimple will not even come out, or it will come out to a head that it's very easy to take care of it. And we have products like a face treatment that's salicylic acid with vitamin C form. If you just wipe it off, it helps to exfoliate and control the breakouts. And the same, we have the oil away. It's for those people that feel that during the day they have too much oil, that it shines. On the face, you see the face really shiny. It's again a wipe that you just wipe it off, and that controls that.
Do you have any treatments like night cream, day cream?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So-
Where are you originally from?
Lithuania,
Oh.
Eastern Europe.
So
Anybody knows where Lithuania is?
yeah,
Where?
It's near Russia.
Okay. Now it's again not. It was one time it was part of Russia, but that's between Poland and Germany. If anybody knows those different countries, that's where I'm from.
up north.
Yeah.
So your exfoliants, what kind of, are they chemical scrubs? Are they physical scrubs? What kind of exfoliants do you have?
I have a couple. I do believe in natural, so I have my mini facial. It's the Ginseng mini facial. It has 9 vegetable oils. It has 3 vitamins, A, D, and E. And the actual scrub is almond rye.
And the chemical ones?
It's not really a chemical. It's actually seaweed. It's a plant that grows in one particular place only in the world. It's in Russia, where the water is always cold, and that's called Lady Epidapia.
Is it in the Baltic Sea?
It's too warm. Baltic Sea is too warm.
Up-
It's even farther there. So
Up north?
because it's really, and what it does, it's been used in medicine many different in the hospitals. We used to use as a paste, all that, and that's where it started. It's much stronger, and that do the treatment. It takes 45 seconds. 45 seconds to exfoliate.
45
And the
seconds.
skin feels very tingly, but when I ask how does it feel, it's a reaction that everybody tells me. It feels like the skin is breathing. It's the same as when you do lash tint. Yes, they allowed here, no?
Not
Okay.
anymore.
I know in the aesthetics, I still have the license that I can do it because my numbers. But it's when you have the lash tint done, when you ask, what do you think? Oh my God, I feel I have my eyes on. Those are the typical expressions, which is very hard for plain Jane to kind of say, my eyes on. But that's exactly how it feels. It's like when you see a person no makeup on and then have the eyelash extension with the eyeliner. What the feeling do you get for those people that want to do makeup?
So when you do facials, you categorize them. You have like a cleansing facial, you have a relaxing facial, you have a treatment facial.
All my facials are treatment.
All of them are treatment.
They are designed, I have 7, and usually I have the eye cream with retinol. Does anybody knows what retinol is? Or retin A? Where does it come from? And what is it used for? Sure. Retinol is a byproduct from vitamin A, and it's been designed for exfoliation, for thinning the skin, so to speak, and so it will make the appearance of the lines softer and smaller. But with the retinol, you have to be really, really, really careful. They come in different strengths. You have to use your common sense. You don't go by. I have clients that they used to come and they burned. Why? Because an esthetician that didn't have common sense, she was just going for the dollar. She sold her the cleanser that has retinol, the toner that had retinol, the moisturizer that had retinol, the eye cream that had retinol, and on top of it, she gave them something else that was even stronger to use it once or twice a week. Guess what will happen to the skin?
Sensitization. Gets sensitized
Any
and
type of
burned.
skin, the thickest, the oiliest skin, the whatever, the skin that feels like a shoe leather, even that skin is gonna suffer. So anything with the skincare, you have to use your common sense.
I want to know about the salicylic acid and what's the benefit of this.
It exfoliates, but with the salicylic acid, you have to be careful. There is no coloration, but me being who I am and what I am and how my attitude is, I will say I would not recommend for pregnant ladies. Basically, look at it as a exfoliant that has a vitamin C to it. We have 5 serums in the line. We have the collagen elastin. Even the name tells you what it is. Okay? Collagen elastin. Collagen usually is good for any type of skin. Now what you have to keep in mind that different lines use the same ingredients, but the way it's used. So in my line, collagen can go from very oily to very dry skin. It will work. I have the collagen elastin. By the way, do you know what collagen is? Where is it? And how is it? And what is it for? How is it the easiest way to understand what collagen and elastin does to the skin? Imagine a bridge. What does the plain bridge consist of? You have the poles and you have the bridge, the road, right? So if the support, what would you think it is? The collagen. Yeah, and elastin. So if you don't have that, it falls down, and so it's like a bridge. So imagine that's what collagen and elastin does for the skin. Simple enough?
Yeah.
The next is Ginseng Placenta serum. You should know that the root, ginseng root, is called the root of life. Now, depends on where it's found. The Russian Siberian root is good for cold. Now, the Asian, there is white and red. Those are good for the skin. But it's been used, men, for potency. It's the root of life, and so it's, if you now even use in your food, the same thing. It will help it's antioxidant, it has the support of the system. What is placenta? We all know, right? And you go, wow, yeah? We don't use humans. We use sheep placenta that comes from Europe, from Switzerland actually. Okay, well, why is the placenta good? Then we have the multivitamins, again, 9 vegetable oils and 3 vitamins, A, D, and E. This is for very, very dry, mature skin because it will absorb a lot. We have the oil control. Just the name tells you, right? It's to control the oil. And the active ingredient is phenol. Who knows what phenol is?
Disinfectant.
Oh, how do you spell it?
No, it's pH.
pH?
PHENOL.
Oh yeah.
What it means that it's clean. You make sure that because when you do the extractions, the pore is open, the skin is punctured. You have to make sure that you kill the bacteria and you prepare the skin and you cover up so that you protect yourself from the skin breaking out.
What is the percentage of the phenol in that product? Is it a big percentage?
No.
No, small percentage.
It's 0.1.
What's the name of your product? Or your name, Sonia Ray?
So my
Remy?
Remy, R-E-M-Y, S-O-N-I-A, R-E-M-Y.
Thank you so much for giving all of that information for us.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank